Thank you for the introduction. For this opportunity to attend this conference, I was asked to talk about two important features of Slovenian school system. One of the features is the national knowledge examination, and other is the moral education plan in primary school. In my presentation, I set myself two goals that I want to present. First is the analysis of the national knowledge examination as a quality maintenance tool, and the second is to present development and use of the moral education plan in primary school in Slovenia. First, I want to start to talk about the analysis of the national knowledge examination. Okay. The beginnings of the national knowledge examination date back to the 2001 and 2002 school year. The main aim of the national knowledge examination was to improve students' knowledge and to improve the quality of teaching and learning. The fundamental goal is for the students, parents, teachers, principals and other school professionals to examine how successful we are in achieving the goals and standards set by the curricula. And on this is based the plan of the further educational work. What is the national knowledge examination? The national knowledge test is an external test of knowledge that is performed by all students in the country in the same subject, on the same day, under the same conditions, or according to standardized procedures. Students' achievements at the national knowledge test are not converted into a grade, but into the absolute number of points or into percentages. Students with the national knowledge examination obtain additional information about their achieved knowledge in a certain period or at the end of the primary school. The national knowledge test takes place at the end of the school year in 6th grade and at the end of the primary school in the 9th grade. What are the main characteristics of the national knowledge examinations? In the 6th grade, students take tests in a native language that can be Slovene or Hungarian or Italian in the area of the national minorities, math, and foreign language that can be English or German. And in the 9th grade, the students take tests in the native language, Slovene, Hungarian or Italian, math, and the third subject. The third subject is determined by the minister from the compulsory subjects in the 8th or the 9th grade. These subjects can be foreign language, history, geography, physics, biology, chemistry, sports, or other subjects. Time for solving the test for each subject is 60 minutes without a break. The national knowledge test is only performed in writing. Solved knowledge tests are electronically evaluated by external evaluators from the other schools because of the transparency of the evaluation. What does the achievements of the national knowledge examination enable for the students and parents? The achievements of the national knowledge examination enables the students to critically evaluate their own work. They can compare their achievements with the average achievements of peers in the same school and on the national level. With the additional information from the teachers, students and their parents get more detailed information about their strong areas and their weak areas in their knowledge and how to plan their future learning. What do schools obtain from the achievements of the national knowledge examination? The feedback that we obtain from the national knowledge examination is comparable between all students at the same generation in the country and is comparable with the information of achievements for schools with the national average. Achievements of the national knowledge examination give teachers and schools important information to what extent they have achieved the goals with learning with their students. The achievements are also a comprehensive review of the achievement of goals and knowledge standards for the Slovenian school system. The data on the achievements of students of a national knowledge examination are not intended to direct comparisons between schools and for evaluating the quality of the work of the individual schools, principals, or teachers. How can be the national knowledge examination presented as a quality maintenance tool? And how we analyze the results of the national knowledge examination at our school? The examination is constructed so that it reveals the strong and weak points of teaching and learning. Each student, teacher, and school can get the information what they do well and where they could improve. At our school, we analyze the results of the national knowledge examination thoroughly every year. The analysis tools are available from the National Examination Center. The outcomes of this analysis are considered in planning future teaching and learning, and with this we end our quality service. The results for the schools, for all subjects examined in school years, are presented and discussed also with the Parents' Council and are included in the school annual report. So our teachers prepare the analysis at the end of the examinations with the results, and then they present it to the school council and the Parents' Council. Do the students and parents have the right for the insight into the achievements of the national knowledge examination? Students and parents have the right to view the students' electronically graded test and transcript of achievements, and they also have the right to compare his or her achievement with achievement of peers at school and in the country. This can be done on the web page of the National Examination Center with using the personal credentials, but the schools do not have the information on the number of their students using this opportunity. We set the dates when they can go and take the insight of the test, but we don't have the number of students using this kind of opportunity. In addition to that, parents and students can discuss the students' individual achievements with the teacher at the school. And this is also presented to parents, that when they can come to the school and see with the teacher the examined test, but we have very few this kind of insights in our school. This could be, in addition to that, parents discuss the students' individual achievement with the teachers at school. This could be a very strong support for better teaching and learning, but is unfortunately much underused. This is like the previous presenter said, the parents see this national examination test not really important because nothing has changed in the past 20 years, so they don't take it very important. At our school, we get only one or two such insights yearly, and increasing interest remains a challenge for the future. Reasons of such underestimation of importance and power of the national knowledge examination are numerous and exceed the scope of this presentation. However, at our school, we will continue to promote and use this valuable quality tool. And now I'm going to talk about my second goal of the presentation and also an important feature of our school system. This is the development and use of the moral education plan. First, I will explain main information about the moral education plan in primary school in Slovenia. Since the 2008 and 2009 school year, the law in Slovenia obligated all primary schools to execute their moral education activities on basis of the autonomously prepared school moral education plan. The school moral education plan should develop the principles, norms, rules, activities, moral education strategies, procedures, measures, presentational values to support the participants in their actual behavior. The law also obliges schools to reflect on their activities in the field of moral education every year through a process of self-evaluation. The school utilize and autonomously form their own moral education plan and approaches and activities and formalize them in the school moral education plan. Key content areas of the moral education plan prescribed to school by the Primary School Act. The Primary School Act first stipulates in Article 60D that schools should use the moral education plan to determine ways of achieving and realizing the goals and values referred to in Article 2 of the Act. Further, the article defines moral education activities, which are proactive and preventive activities, counseling, acknowledgements, commendations and awards, types of moral education measures, forms of mutual cooperation with parents. What are the key content areas? Further, the Article 60E sets out the school rules in more detail. In the school rules, the school determines moral education measures for individual infringements of the rule. Thus, Article 60F of the Act defines the moral education warning as a special moral education measure that follows when the other measures have been exhausted. And in the Article 60D obliges the principal to report on the implementation of the moral education plan at least once a year to the Parents' Council and the School Council. Report must be an integral part of the annual school evaluation. And how is the development of the moral education plan of Janko Kersnika Brdo Primary School? The first moral education plan at our school was created in 2008 or 2009 school year. In the 2012 and 2013 school year, the moral education plan was renovated and supplemented with the additional moral education activities and determined actions for individual infringements of rules. Our moral education plan includes goals and values of the moral education plan as prescribed in the Primary School Act, moral education activities, proactive and preventive moral education activities, which are addressing moral education content in classroom communities, projects with moral education theme, workshops and lectures for parents, peer assistance, teacher education, involving parents in solving in the moral education problems. The other key content is the form of mutual cooperation with parents, counseling, acknowledgements, commendations and awards, the determination of moral education measures, determined actions for individual infringements of rules, moral education warnings, and guidelines for the individualized moral education plan. How do we evaluate the implementation of the moral education plan at our school? At the end of every school year, teachers, school counselors, and school leadership evaluate the implementation of school moral education plan. Parents also evaluate the implementation of the school moral education plan through the questionnaire. This questionnaire takes place mainly this month. It's actually done right this week, when they can, through the questionnaire, say what we did good and where we should improve. The analysis of the implementation of school moral education by teachers, school professionals, and parents is presented and discussed on the Teaching Conference and at Parents' Council. The result of the school moral education plan analysis help our school to plan which moral education activities will be emphasized in the next school year. In previous years, we emphasized mainly internet safety. In this year and in the next year, we'll be emphasizing mostly the pure violence. This is the part of the presentation of the moral education plan of Janko Kersnika Primary School at the Teachers' Conference and the Parents' Council. On the left graph, we can see the percentage of students with violations of moral education plan on class level from the 1st to the 5th class, and on the subject level from the 6th to 9th grade. Almost a third of students of subject level have violation of moral education plan due to the disruptions of lessons, failure to fulfill school obligations, failure to respect the agreements and rules, and also for the individual excesses often related to violence. And this shows us where we should take more preventive and proactive activities. The right graph presents the data of number of minor and serious violations and the number of the moral education warnings. The number of minor violations vary between the individual school years, but the number of the serious violations and moral education warning is more consistent because they are related to severe behavioral cases that happen almost every year. The basis of the moral education plan are prescribed by law, but openness of the legal provisions allows schools to obtain professional autonomy. The moral education plan of Janko Korošec Primary School was from the beginning created in cooperation with teachers, parents, and students. Moral education plan is a living document. Its development is influenced by teachers, parents, and students, and they all have the one part of this document. The cooperation between teachers, parents, and students should support the school's understanding of current moral education challenges and help to form moral education strategies. This cooperation with teachers, parents, and students is most important for the quality moral education. So in the end, the analysis of the use of moral education plan is important for quality reasons. On the basis of results of the analysis, we can plan improvements and develop quality moral education. Moral education is an important part of the educational system, and for quality moral education is most important part to have quality cooperation between all participants, students, teachers, and parents, and that we do at our school. Thank you for your attention.